Well, good evening all. So I am heading out for an astrophotography shoot tonight, hopefully to get the Milky Way. Sorry, just changing lanes there. Okay, so it's been heavy rain all day. In fact, it's only stopped raining a few minutes ago, so everything is wet, so I don't really want to go walking and kneeling down in wet grass and be wet all night. So I was thinking about going to the coast, which maybe it will be less windy because it's also a fairly windy night. It's about 13 degrees. Well, it's given to be 13 degrees for most of the night, which is not bad. I have put a jumper on for the first time this summer though, just because obviously it's going to be colder when I'm out in the mountains and stuff. Anyway, I've decided now, as much as the coast could be nice, it's not as dark as if I go to another spot that I know called Glenmalure, which is where I've done my last couple of workshops. It's in a valley, but when you get to the highest point of the valley before you go down, there's a car park there, and that's where I'm going to shoot from. Now, I'm guessing there'll be nobody else there. Like, I should have the place to myself, and I really wanted to get this shot out west that I've been planning for a couple of months. I was down scouting it out, but it's just not cleared out west. So I can be in Wicklow within an hour and a half. So it's 3 minutes to 10 p.m. and I reckon I'll be there before 11:30. I'm just on the motorway now, probably even 11:10 now. Anyway, I should have the place to myself, like I said. I have 3 cameras with me. I have the R6 II, which is my latest camera, which you think I'd be using with my 20mm 1.4. No, I have 2 6Ds with me, the full frame cameras, but not mirrorless. But one of them is astro modified, so it allows me to pick up all the reds in space, so I'm definitely using that. And the other one has the clip-in hydrogen alpha filter, the 12nm, that allows me to pick up even more hydrogen alpha data that can't be seen with normal camera or with the human eye. Even though technically that all comes back red, and you just use the red channel to convert into black and white, and you blend that back in on top of your normal shot, and it just gives you loads more data. Now, I've been saying the last few times I went out, I would love to get some HA data on this, and something always happens. There's people with me, or I have a workshop, or there's lights going by or something, and I just never had time to get it, because it takes time to focus, because it's really, really impossible to see in the dark, because this filter is so narrow. It's a narrow band filter, obviously. The light coming through it is so narrow, so it's really hard to see. So I have to play around with the focus. But if I get it, and I can get the Milky Way where I want it without trees in the way, the HA data is more important to me than the normal shot, because once I have that, I can use that for any Milky Way shot, as long as it's at the same focal length. So I'm most likely going to shoot at the 16 to 35. I'll probably shoot at either 16, maybe 20mm in thereabouts, and then I will try and switch cameras between the two, keeping my focal length at the same, even though my focus will be different. But look, we'll see what happens when I get there. I have the 2 tripods, the 2 cameras. I have the star tracker as well, obviously, so I can track the sky to get the longer exposures, especially with the HA. Even when you do get it nailed, sorry, just making sure I'm in the right line now. Yeah, even when you do get your focus nailed, your exposure needs to be at least twice as long as a normal light frame. So if I'm normally doing a 2-minute exposure, I'm now going to do a 4, maybe even 5-minute exposure, which is fine. It just I need to get loads of them to get some data in. So let's see how we get on. I'll check in with you when I get here. Guys, I'm just coming off the motorway now, so once I get around here, there will be no lights for the rest of the way, and you get an idea almost straight away if it's going to be clear or not, because if there's no lights, you can see the stars. Well, all the way up on the motorway it's just lights, so I couldn't tell. Now the moon goes down at 10:40. It's currently 10:20, so yeah, it's more or less gone already. Like, but I should be there for like the afterglow of the moon, all perfect. It'll be all gone down by 11. Yeah, these are the last couple of street lights here in front of me now. I'm going to get around this corner, and then I can tell if it's going to be clear or not. This is the last light, apart from the car coming towards me, and I can see stars. Excellent. I'm sure you know from previous night sky videos I had to put my full beams on, because it's getting really hard to see. Yeah, from previous night sky videos, I'm shooting on the Osmo Pocket here, so it's not exactly a night sky camera. It can't see in the dark. It has a low light mode, but you can't zoom in, or you can't do a lot of stuff in low light mode. But even then, it's still not great. You can't see in the dark. And what I have one of those little cube lights that sits on top of my camera that I can put on myself if I want to do talking. So, wow, car nearly blinded me coming around the bend there. So yeah, I'm gonna get off this just so I can concentrate on this road, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Just arrived. I love that feeling when you first step out of the car. The other thing is there's another car here and I'm almost sure it's somebody I know. Let's just step out of this car and have a look. So I've arrived on location and bumped into Jay of all people, Texas Jay. Setting up on the Star Tracker here. He's had to be shooting a time lapse over there, showed me on the back of the camera, it looks lovely. I'm just setting up my Star Tracker here and I'm gonna get my first astromod camera onto it and get a shot. I can see the Milky Way clearly overhead there. So it's fairly windy. That's the only thing I'm worried about long exposures. If I can't do the really long ones, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna switch to the 20mm lens and I can just do 20-second exposures on that. First thing I need to do is get my laser out of my bag and just polar align my scope. It should be in the top of my bag here somewhere. Laser, laser, laser. Here we go. Make sure it works. Woohoo! Okay, let's get this set up. Okay, so I have my Star Tracker set up, laser pointer, got my North Star, everything's all good to go, and I'm taking my first tester shot. I was at 1600 ISO, doing a 90-second exposure, and I was way too bright. So I've come down, my ISO is only is 800 now, and I'm doing a 90-second exposure, and I have it set just to take 5 shots, and I've switched it to portrait mode. I don't want to bring it out and show you the camera now, because if I put the light on the camera, it's going to ruin the shot. So I'm just going to do my 5 shots first, and then I'm going to switch to my HA. I worry about composition and land later, as long as I can get a few shots for the sky and stack them, because there is a few bits of cloud behind me, but I'm not worried. Like in front of us, it's beautiful. You can clearly see the Milky Way with the naked eye. I'm hoping like an airplane or something will fly over, it'd be class. And it's good to have Jay here as well as someone to talk to now. So as soon as I can show you the camera without ruining the shots, I'll show you what I'm at. Put that short release. So we have a little bit of cloud coming in. So while that's happening, I'm after getting my 5 shots that I can stack my 5 90-seconds. I'm keeping my 20mm, but I'm switching to the other 6D that has the 12nm filter in it. I've just put the bracket on because I had an L bracket, but I need this one for the Manfrotto. I'm going to put this on this and see if I can focus. Like I said, seeing through the live view on this is blank. It's just black, so I guess where the focus is. I'm going to start where I had focus for my last lens and walk that way, going tweaking it either a bit right or a bit left, and let's just see how we go. Now I'm hoping them couple of bits of cloud that we had there are going to pass, and as I said in my last video, my eyes are going to shit, so I had to wear glasses now to make sure I had my focus, because I kept thinking, why are these stars out of focus? When it turned out it wasn't the stars at all, it was my eyes that were out of focus. I just had that the wrong way. The big fish will be at the back. There was a couple of deer when I was driving up this road. I was only thinking, I remember I always had people watch out for there, but I was driving up like, and wow, they're running out in front of me. That is clicked in. Right, so what I'm going to do, again, switch this camera on. This is the exact same camera, 6D, so I will have to tweak my settings a bit, obviously, but I'm going to take the same shot again, and let's see if we can get this in focus. And if we can, I'll have to do longer shots, maybe 5-minute shots, because the wind is not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. And then see how many of them we can get, and I'm going to blend that in with the normal astromod camera, and the reds should be incredible. Even the foreground, it's like just a kind of a silhouette of a tree line here. Now when I was here a couple of weeks ago in a workshop, there's white flowers on the ground there. If they're still there, I might get them in for a foreground, but for the minute I'm happy with this. Let's see how this shot goes. That bit of cloud that I was talking about in the last clip there has disappeared, which is brilliant. I have switched over to the astromod camera. I'm not sure I mentioned that as I was doing it. I probably did, but I've switched over to the astromod camera and the same lens. And I had to do about 5 tester shots before I got the focus kind of where I wanted. It still doesn't look perfect, but I think like it's close enough, considering that I'm probably going to remove the stars in this shot anyway and use the stars from the previous camera. I know it all sounds a bit complicated, but that's my plan. So I'm doing 5-minute exposures of the Milky Way in portrait mode with the 12nm filter. When those 5-minute shots are done, that's 25 minutes and doing 5 of them obviously, then I'm going to tilt the camera up and I'm going to do another 5 there and pick up the Cygnus region, because I know there's a lot of activity going on up there that will just show up great on this. Who knows, I may even tilt it up again or move it left and right and pan it all around, see how much time we have before the clouds move in again. I'm excited though, can't wait to see how this turns out. So while we have a bit of cloud going over, sure, I may as well show you what I'm shooting, because I'm just going to stop this shot. I'm actually just doing a manual focus on my phone there, or a manual shot. I can change on my settings here. F1.6, 3200 ISO, 4400 Kelvin, manual focus, and I'm doing 30-second exposure. Oh, there's cloud, and this is my actual camera setup on the Star Tracker here. The shutter release, the cable, I just press that to take a shot. It's currently shooting a 5-minute shot, but let's just hit the stop button on that, because it's a waste of time if there's cloud. So let's just, there we go. I'm going to stop that, and if I can call up the last image, maybe the one before that, I'll give you an idea if it will show on this. There's a lot of detail in there, HA detail, that's what I'm after. All we can do is hope that cloud passes, because I want to tilt my camera up and get the Cygnus region right over my head as well, because I know there's lots going on up there. But it's tough doing the really long exposures, obviously, because I was going to say because of the wind. It's not the wind, because the cloud keeps coming in. The wind is not as bad as I thought. Like I said, it's really not bad. We could have set up, like, duck down behind the car, but it's not that bad. But the good thing about it is the lenses won't dew up, which they normally would this time of year. Whether it's warm or cold, you know, you're up here, they always dew up. But with the wind, they won't. So great, we have no need for dew heaters or hand warmers or anything like that. Just waiting for this cloud to pass, and I'm going to continue on with these shots. Unfortunately, we're completely clouded out. Every time I set up for it, like I'm doing the 5-minute exposure, every time I set up to get a shot, the cloud moves in, and then it moves off again and goes to take another shot, it comes back. So if it does clear, I'm scratching the 5-minute shots. We're going 1 5-minute shot, and then I'm going to tilt down, do another 1 5, and then another 1 5, and so on. But yeah, for the minute, I think it's time to make a cup of tea. You know me, the flask comes everywhere with me. Yeah. Just open my bag here. Has to be done. I'll put this down here. I think the wind might be picking up a bit, actually. It's a shame about the clouds. I'm hoping I have enough to create an image. I think I did 5 shots with the normal astromod camera at the start, and I know the last 1 or 2 had cloud, but I have at least 3, possibly 4 shots to stack, which is good. And I reckon I've at least 1 shot with the HA, so I should be able to make an image out of it. Most likely my foreground will just be the silhouette top of the trees, unless I decide to go for the flowers there later. But let's see how it looks. I think it'd be very hard, obviously in the wind, to get the flowers. Well, I know it'd be very hard, so yeah. But a minute, it's time for a cup of tea and some snacks. Jay is just after heading off there. He was getting cold, didn't bring the right clothes with him, but the fact that it was getting cloudy didn't really help much. I'm tempted to pack up myself, but usually when somebody leaves, the sky's clear, so I'm hanging on for a bit. So what I managed to get so far is single 5-minute exposures. I got 4 of them, so kind of starting up high in the sky there. 1, another one here, another one here, and another one here. Obviously there is cloud going through them. I don't know how well they're going to work out. I'm going to try and fix the corners and stack them, because when you see them on the wide angle, the corners are always darker, so I'll need to fix that in post, and then try and stitch them, not stack them, stitch them to make one long thing, one long image of the hydrogen alpha, and then one from the astromod, and blend them together. And hopefully my other, that's my phone, and just on my other camera, taking some shots there. I could have put this on this tripod, because I forgot the little tripod that comes with this tonight. But yeah, unfortunately the clouds, sorry, let me just knock that light off my head, because I'm using this little cube. Unfortunately the cloud just wow, it's not following me, sorry. The cloud is not playing ball tonight, and it's kind of just taking over the stars. But every now and then you get a clear patch, and I'm hoping that it will be enough for me just to get a few more shots. But what I have done since Jay has left, let me flip this around again. I just moved my car up, and I have a setup right next to my camera, because it is getting a bit chilly and a bit windy. So as well as this blocking the wind, I can just sit inside my car if I want and chill out and see my cameras out the window if the sky clears. I'm completely clouded out, so I've just jumped into the car. I don't want to pack up and go home, because you know yourself, something always happens when you pack up and go home. So
I'm going to sit in the car for another half an hour at least, see if anything clears. If there's no sign of it clearing, I'll head off. I'm not even sure what time it is. I think it's around 1 a.m. So I'm not even here that long. Like, I'm only here a couple of hours. Just, I think I have one image, but we'll find out. You probably already know in this video because you might have seen it already, or at least some of the shots I've been getting. And even if it continues to be cloudy, I'm still going to shoot a foreground at least anyway, so I can have something to blend in with it. But other than that, I'm just going to chill here in the car for a bit. The wind is picking up too, so it's getting cold out there. Well, I thought I was in luck there. I jumped out of the car when the sky started to clear again, and for about 5 minutes I had clear skies, and my very first shot, a car drove by. I went through the shot. It was a bit weird actually. They pulled into the car park next to me to the U-turn, then drove down and came back up. So anyway, they're gone, but I meant the trail was going through that shot, so it was ruined by the time I set up for another one, so the cloud was back again already. So I think it's time to go, but you know me, I'm always afraid to go just in case. So I haven't turned off the tracker just yet. It's still there. It's still there, still tracking away. You can see the light on it, means it's tracking just on the off chance. But what I am going to do now, I'm going to get my other R6 camera. I'll just put my head torch on for a minute, and I'm going to try. I did want to do a foreground here with these white flowers, but they're shaking a lot in the wind. I try a shot, but I don't hold out much hope, because it'd be nice here, and there's you can't see with this light, but there's a stack of trees there behind them as well. And also there's one big tree here, which I might try and get, and put the Milky Way coming right down the side of it. Could be nice. Like, it's handy. My car's right here, my camera's right here, so let me have a look up. No, completely clouded. I think it's even getting foggy, so I'm just going to get my foreground shots, and if it hasn't cleared by then, I'm going to pack this away as well. Yes, it's packing up time. I'm going to just put one camera in the bag of my Star Tracker because I can't fit everything else in here. It's a shame I couldn't get more, but look, I may have enough for an image. Let's put that down there for a second and turn the Star Tracker off. Oh, sorry, just trying to get this disconnect everything. I don't have the tripod to put you down, sorry, so I'm just hand holding it while I'm disconnecting everything. Watch, I'll take it all apart and the sky will clear or something. Okay, tracker's off. Just want to put the ball head back on there so I don't lose it. And the tracker goes back in the other bag, which is now in my car, and my camera as well. So, last cup of tea for the drive home. I think it's around 2 a.m, which is not bad compared to some nights when I'm out pretty full there. So, be no traffic now. I should be home off at 3, a little after 3. Yeah, so I'm not going to say a great night, but an okay night. It's still clouded out there now, so I'm not worried I'm missing that. It's even gone a little bit, I don't know if it's kind of foggy, but definitely hazy, like, so it's getting harder to see anyway. So put that up down there for a second, so I pack this away in my bag. Yeah, I'm not afraid I'm missing out on anything, so I think I got enough to get a shot to put a whole image together. Even if the foreground is not great, it's something, but if I got enough, you'll be seeing it here now. So let me know what you think. I'm going to make my way back to Dublin, so until next time, here's the image.
back at my computer at home, you can see this is the raw hydrogen alpha shot that came out. I did get a few of them to stack, but there was cloud going through them, so it didn't come out great. I managed to stitch 2 of them up above the Cygnus region, which looked great, but I didn't get one down at ground level because the cloud came in and cars running through them. And this is the actual raw file from the normal, well, I said normal, it's an astro modified camera, but you can see the colour in there already. I managed to get 5 of these. One had cloud, so we could stack 4 in Photoshop, and Photoshop didn't do a bad job at stacking. Then I proceeded to do a bit of an edit. Obviously you can see the colour that was there. I pushed it a little bit. I also moved into Nick collection. I did an extra bit of a glamour glow and stuff, and that just makes it pop that little bit more. Then I decided to do some dodge and burn. So the darker parts of the Milky Way, I just went into the shadows and I used the burn tool and brush over them. And then for the next one I did the same thing with the dodge tool just to brighten them up, and I just did the highlights and the mid-tones, kind of brightening them up, which I think it just made it pop that extra little bit. And I was kind of happy with this. I just thought maybe there's a bit too many stars, because I like the eye to be drawn straight to the Milky Way and not distracted by all the stars. So I decided I would remove some of the stars using StarNet GUI, which is what I normally use, especially for the HA, but I couldn't get it to work today for some reason. So I gave up and I just used the dust and scratches filter in Photoshop. And what I did, I removed the stars, obviously with the dust and scratches filter. I added a mask and I brushed back in at 50% opacity over the Milky Way just to make that pop again with the stars. And I was happy with that for a final image, so I just jumped in at the road then. Well, obviously I did this while I was there. I stood at the end of the road just to give a bit of scale to show you how big it actually is with the same lens, 20mm. And then the flowers that I was talking about earlier, I found it more flowers, but they were blown so hard in the wind I just couldn't get them without blurring, so it was easier just to flash my torch on them and take a quick shot and just blend it back in. So I hope you liked them all, and let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.